So I'm going to talk about a few different things and how they differ. Can't go into absolutely everything in this video, but I'll go in through as much as I can. So let's start with Ally and let's think about products. Ally Robotics specifically focuses on development of robotic arms. As you can see, they've got a video here. They build the software and look, they can do different configurations of arms. They can have arms with hooks. They can have arms that do soldering. So they build the arms and they go in different industries. It is not just the restaurant industry. Where there might be some confusion is Ally Robotics supplies Flippy 2, which is a flagship product for Miso Robotics. But sticking on Ally Robotics for the moment, these guys build the technology of very lightweight but sophisticated arms that can actually learn, and you can teach these arms to do whatever you want to do. And if you think about it, these arms can be used in all sorts of ways, not just restaurants and quick service fast food joints. I don't know if it's going to show it here, but basically, yeah, it's got some manufacturing there. But if you think about it, like I think Mitch, the owner, has a background in construction. But if you think about it, like these arms could be used for all sorts of things: painting, welding, sanding, cutting, whatever it might be. Maybe on construction sites in terms of lifting, moving things in the construction world, or in the manufacturing work space, all sorts of different ways. So that's Ally. That's on the product front. Now, if we go to Miso Robotics, they have their robotic arms. They've got Flippy 2, which is $3,000 a month, and as they say, is flipping awesome. And I couldn't agree more. So it's a split between software and robotics, and it's quite complex. It can do all sorts of different things, like we've talked about, and I've got a whole video on what it can do. Right, so it can do fries, it can do wings, it can do burgers, all that kind of stuff. It's flexible and adaptable. And within the actual whole product of Flippy 2, it's a whole stack. If you think about it, for any developers or IT people, they might get this straight away. But if you think about it, you've got the software here in this tablet. I assume it's in the tablet, where you can program it. You can interact with the robot. It's on a rail system. Then there's the arm, and the arm itself has software, which is supplied by, you got it, Ally Robotics. And the system itself has vision. It's got computer vision, and there's other software like, I think it's called Cookwright, which is there. And actually, it's here, actually. And that is embedded in Flippy 2 to make sure that the food is being cooked to the right temperature for the right time, etc. And that's that computer vision. So all of these different things are in a kind of the Miso Robotics ecosystem in terms of an API, and they can connect to different providers. And Ally is the supplier of the arm and that kind of that technology to do with the arm, how it moves, how it functions, how you can program it, and that connects to the robots on a rail, which is the stuff at the top, and it also connects to the overall software embedded in the system with Cookwright to make sure that the food is cooked perfectly. So that's on the product front. Also, you can see that Miso Robotics have this other software looks like, oh, wow, this is a new product. I didn't even see this. Cookwright Coffee, intelligence powered system designed to make cooking coffee. That's incredible. We're going to look at that another time. But I thought Cookwright was just about the grill. So here we go. Let's talk about the grill. This is where it uses computer vision to see how well food is cooked. So it's cooked perfectly every time. It's looking at it in real time. That is amazing that they've got it for coffee. I actually made a video recently where I talked about how I thought coffee was going to be amazing for them. So anyway, Miso Robotics is almost like an innovation lab company. If you think about it that way, they're like an incubator, and all of their like products and services are like super innovative. That, you know, they've got this like Flippy 2, they've got Sippy, which I've done a video about. They've got Cookwrite for both burgers and for coffee. And basically for all of their products, they may need suppliers. Now, I don't know if they need like a hardcore supplier for Sippy, because like, oh, 1 second, my computer's just bear with me. Just restore the things. That's not one of them. One sec, folks. Oh, there we go. So I lost my train of thought here. I'll stop sharing my screen. Just give me a second. I'll find where we were at. It's so frustrating. Anyway, I can do it without the windows, basically. But what I was saying is that Miso Robotics has the kind of stack and it's producing these innovative products and services. And for some of them, they're so advanced, they need extra resource, they need extra brain power, they need extra manufacturing power. And that comes from Ally Robotics. So that's on the product front. If you think about it, it's quite clear that Ally Robotics is targeting cafes, restaurants, bars, where everything is to do with food and drink. That's Miso Robotics. Ally, is supplying the arms, the robotic arms solutions, and that supplies Miso Robotics. You know, one of the arms one of the arms of the business model is quick service restaurants, is fast food, etc., and that's for Flippy too. But Ally can also go to construction, to manufacturing, to all sorts of different things, to property developers maybe, etc., etc., etc. And let's think about the other lenses. So I've covered products. That's the product front. What about financing? The financing is also very different. Although they have similarities, the way the companies are structured is very different. I'm just bear with me, folks. I'm just getting all the links back up. So if we think about Miso Robotics, you can invest in Miso Robotics, I think, right now in their Series E. And it's financed very differently than Ally. Although they have similar platforms and similar strategies, it's a different company. The ownership structure is different. Buck Jordan is a big shareholder in Miso Robotics, and I think he's got some other venture funds or trusts and things like that own a fair whack of Miso Robotics. What about Ally Robotics? Well, Ally Robotics is actually, I think it might even be majority owned by Miso Robotics, and Miso Robotics have a very large stake in Ally Robotics. I assume over time that stake might be watered down when they do more raises and you know, maybe if options mature or whatever for the founding team potentially. But right now, the financing, Miso Robotics kind of own shares in Ally Robotics, which makes it a little bit more confusing. But you have to think about the mission. Ally is going whole of the market for use cases to do with robotic arms. Miso's going quick service restaurants, food and drink, right? Cafes, whatever, but it's all food and drink. So that's the financing. And in both cases, you can invest on their website. I think year round, or you can invest quite frequently. They do raises and things, and I think it's open to investors. I know some websites are being really funny about different nationalities investing. I think because of some restrictions or something. I don't know. But with Ally and with Miso, I believe they open it up to UK investors, to US investors, etc. I've covered ownership. R&D. The R&D element is going to be completely different as well, because Miso Robotics is solely focused on the restaurant experience, the front end and the back end of the restaurant experience. And Ally Robotics is completely different. It's not just looking at restaurants, it's also thinking about construction, factories, manufacturing, and all that. And look at this pick and pack, warehouses, all these different scenarios. And I think the world is literally they have a very large potential, Ally Robotics. I think it means that they both have incredible potential. But the interesting thing about Ally is that it's not just confined to kind of food and drink. Software. The software is different, and Ally Robotics own their own software. They've got this. They've created this kind of interface where you can kind of teach the robots to do things. I don't know if there's a video on that here. Let's have a look. It's fascinating what they're able to do. I don't know. Anyway, so there you go. That's a few of the differences or similarities, if you like. I hope from this you can see that they are quite different companies. Sorry, I think my computer is kind of auto focusing, which is a bit annoying. Anyway, I hope you can see they're different companies, but they are interconnected. They're both, for me, very exciting companies. And I wanted to make this video to inform some of my audience and maybe the wider community of potential investors who are considering investing. They might think there's something up. There isn't anything up. It's quite common for parent companies to have kind of subsidiaries or to have companies they invest in and support. And robotics is a small industry, it seems. So there's quite a lot of similarities between personnel, and I think Mitch might have started working at Miso Robotics. But either way, I hope this has been helpful. If you're interested in learning more about Miso Robotics and Ally Robotics, I've got videos where I give my own insights and analyses of the opportunity and the products and services. I've got playlists around the actual products themselves, and I plan to do even more videos around Miso, Ally, and other robotics companies as well, Blended, and there's a few other small robot company, and there's a few others. So I'm quite keen on the robotics sector. I kind of see the growth potential as being just astounding. Guys, if you like this video and you want to support the channel, best way to do that is to subscribe and smash and invest in the like button. Make sure that it goes from a white color to a blue. I see in my analytics that a lot of kind of men watch the videos. If you've got any women in your life, whether it's sisters, wives, mothers, friends, I know that they're getting involved. Some women are getting involved in equities and investing in funds and trackers, but they haven't necessarily been opened up to the world of angel investing and investing in the future. And I think it's a potentially really good opportunity to make angel investing for everybody. It doesn't matter how old you are. And in a lot of these companies, I don't think with Miso and Ally, but a lot of companies nowadays, the minimums are quite small. I think with Miso and Ally, it might be $1,000. But with other companies that I've done videos on, the minimum's like $20. So the world is changing. And I think I personally, it's my opinion, but my personal opinion is I think everybody should have angel or venture as a kind of percentage of their portfolio, even if it's just a small percentage. Just my opinion, but I think that it's quite interesting. Even if it doesn't work out, the things you learn from being an angel investor in innovative, groundbreaking companies like small robot company like Ally, like Miso. Guys, if you want to learn more about robotics or investing in startups, I have some videos that are popping up shortly. Before then, remember that knowledge is power, especially the right kind of knowledge, and progress is everything. If you've got any questions, comments, or anything, if you're an investor in any of these companies, let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from my audience. Take care. Cheers.